This is the setup for the AI Sales Call Analyzer for within N8N. So the first step is to import your workflow from Import File at the top right. We select the workflow and it is imported. So just a quick overview of how things work. There are two methods for transcription analysis. The first is a manual form tray submission, where you can manually submit the transcript for it to be analyzed. The second is a Zoom webhooks. A webhook is a payload of information that is being received from Zoom. In this case, it is the meeting recording upon meeting recording completed. So once we receive this information, we go through this check to ensure that the meeting duration is beyond our threshold for the minimum call duration. So we've set this to 10 minutes, and that's a good indicator that there was the prospect showing up and it was not a no-show. From there, we take the audio recording and we use a service called DeepGram to transcribe it. And then we move this data into two AI analyzers and formatters to analyze the transcript. And then we send that information to Google Sheets for easier viewing. So the first step in enabling all of this is to set up your Google account. So within these nodes, you can create a new credential. So if you're on the cloud version, you can just sign in with Google and you will have access to all of your Google Sheets. If you are on the web version of N8N, you will have to follow this setup on creating an app within Google Cloud and then getting your keys that you can then paste into these nodes. The second step is setting up OpenRudder. OpenRudder is a service that allows us to plug into multiple LLMs for different use cases. In this case, we are using Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview. This is recommended for this workflow. So you first create an account on openrudder.ai, then you add some credits. So $10, $20, up to you. Then we go to keys and we create an API key, and then you name it Sales Call Analyzer, and then you copy that key. Make sure to keep this somewhere secure because you're not going to be able to see it again. Then inside OpenRudder, we can paste this API key and get access to Gemini 2.5 Pro. Now, to make sure the rest of this setup goes smoothly, ensure that the workflow is set to active at the top right. Now, we are going to set up the Zoom webhook. So for this to work, we have to create a server-to-server app. So we select this option from the URL. We name the app Sales Call Analyzer, for example. Once we have created the app, we want to go through the setup process by hitting Continue. Give the app a name, give it a short description, and give your company name. You also need to provide developer contact information, so your name and your email address. Now in here, you will get your secret token, and this is used for URL validation. We want to copy this, return to our N8N workflow, go to hash keys, and paste in your secret token. Want to create an event subscription, huh? We want to name it Recording Complete. Now here is your event notification endpoint URL. So if we return to N8N, we can go into this webhook node. You'll notice I have unique ID here, and you can name this or give it a unique ID. Then copy the production URL and save the N8N workflow. It's critical that you save at this point. We return to Zoom, paste that endpoint URL, and then we validate. Now we want to add events, go to recording, and do all recordings have completed and save. Now we want to continue and activate your app. Now when a sales call has been recorded and finished, it will send the payload of information through this workflow. The last step is setting up DeepGram. So you want to navigate to deepgram.com, set up an account, and then once you have an account set up, they give you $200 of free credit. Create an API key, and then when we return to Deepgram, replace input token here with your API key that you have. Now that should be the workflow setup. In order to submit a form, we go to the on-form submission node, get the production URL, copy that, and paste it. So we can input your name, email, company name, the sales rep name, prospect name, and the call date, as well as the call transcript to be analyzed. That goes through our analyzation process, and it returns into Google Sheets. So in order to view the analysis from our AI analysis here, first go to Copy Template, make a copy into your Google Drive. Then, in each of these nodes, navigate to the Sales Call Analysis document, and in the first, select Summaries, and in the second, select Data. This will return an empty Google Sheet that you can see here. For this example, we have some meeting recordings finished with deal value, call control score, discovery depth score, just basically all the information about the call. And if you wanted more in-depth analysis on each of these, you can select click here for details into summary, and then we can see what worked, areas to improve, key strength, key weakness, etc. So we have a log of all the calls that have been recorded and analyzed. That is the setup for the Sales Call Analyzer within N8N.